So there's so much work to do. There's always work to do in the garden, and it never ends. Let's see how much I can get done and what changes I can make, and keep watching my progress over the rest of the year. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We'll start off in the front garden, and I'll show you exactly what's going on. So what we've got is a camellia over there. We've got quite a few little buds coming out on it, and that's going to look quite pretty this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And we get lots of peonies coming up. And we've got roses and lots of other little flowers, hydrangeas and more roses down that side. But this garden doesn't get a lot of sun, but it does okay. It's quite nice for what it is. I think it looks okay. We'll give it a little tidy and get it weeded if it needs it, and get some more annuals planted in. But let's go and have a look at the back garden where the main activities happen. So if I show you down the side, there's a lot of mess down here that needs clearing up. I've got wood chips that need a pile that needs moving, pallets that I need to do something with. I've got some work to do with them, so I'll do that. Lots and lots of junk that's just waiting to be either recycled or reused for something else. Thanks Johnny for that compost bin that you gave me. So I've got myself a Dalek compost bin thanks to one of our YouTube viewers. I really appreciate that. There's lots of timber down here that I've salvaged from a skip, and I'm going to use that to make a trellis and more pallets and stuff. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. I haven't figured it all out yet. Let's pan around to the other side of the garden. All needs tidying. Lots and lots of work needs doing to that to get it into a nice fit state. Everything's just been brought out of the shed, and all that needs tidying up. Other jobs that need doing, I still haven't got this old greenhouse taken down yet. It was on my list of jobs to do last year, but it's just been used as a storeroom and it's never been taken down. The chicken house needs rebuilding. It's falling apart now and I have to do it this year. Yeah, I just have to do it this year, otherwise it's never going to happen. So I've got some plans for this whole side. Where the old greenhouse is, I want to take that down and build myself a nice shed. Same thing with this chicken house, that needs taken down. All of this needs taken out and tidying up. And I'm thinking of incorporating this whole area. It never gets used anyway, so I'm thinking of turning all this area into a growing space. So it's going to be a new garden for us. So if we come into the main garden proper, there's some rogue onions popping up from last year. Must have been things that I've missed. I've been slowly moving away from growing in tyres, but this is, I think, going to be the last year that I do it, and we'll get rid of all of these things. I might use some for ornamentals and grow some vegetables in them, but we'll see. There's some more rogue onions that are still growing. There's all of these beds. They just need tidying up and getting ready for next year. Here we've got loads of garlic. So there's one bed of garlic, and in between the garlic I've got some broad beans planted as well. We didn't get as much garlic planted as I wanted to, mainly because I was so ill in January with COVID. The whole family was out, so we really suffered. This is my other main bed of garlic, and I've done the same thing there. I've got a load of garlic planted with cardboard as mulch, and now what I'm doing is I'm just adding compost to the top of it. And other little things, broad beans interplanted in the middle, and there's a row of radishes seeded there as well, and hopefully they'll be popping up in the next couple of days. So time for a costume change, and these compost bins, they need fixing. I mean, the garden work just never stops. There's just so much to do. It's just never ending. Let's just chuck these in here as well. So it's just never ending. So these compost bins, they're falling apart. So I've got to rebuild these. And what I'm hoping to do is, if I can find the wood, then I'll make a little shelter here for these compost bins. But I might move the compost bins up the garden. I haven't decided yet. Because what would be brilliant to do is just turn this into a massive pond here. But there's all the leaves and everything that falls over from those sycamore tree that gets in the way. So it's just plans that I'm playing with at the moment. So, but there's so much to do. There's so much to do. We need to sort this. We need to sort this strawberry bed out yet. Give it a good tidy, and clean it up and stuff, and get it working again. Get it back into productive order for the coming year. All these strawberries all the way up here. I mean, you can see garlic planted in the middle of the strawberries, and that's going to start coming up soon. I need to try and get this plum tree under control. I mean, it's never fruited. We probably need a pollinator for it, but it needs to get under control. I took the central leader out last year and it's just gone completely haywire. So wait till this spring and I'll give it a good tidy and get everything back, try and get it into back some sort of order. And I'll take you to the new part of the garden, the part that I'm working on at the minute. In order to move the chicken pen and all of that, we need to get this new part of the garden ready so we can start that. And I've got two busy workers already. Getting stuck in. What are you guys doing?
There were lots of twigs and roots here before, and now I threw some of the big ones over there, and then I used the vest to put it underneath so it can start rotting.
So you made a nice little bed here. And it's
yeah, we want to grow strawberries and flowers and stuff like that.
That's in here that looks like it's just been left by the old lady who had this garden before us. So that'll be a nice little planter to plant into, don't you think? Come on. So all these roots need to come out. You can see we've cleared a patch. So we've probably cleared a third of it, and it's hard work, man. I'll tell you now. 70-year-old privet hedge roots, they go down at least 2-3 feet, some of them. We're just snapping them off under the ground and trying to pull them out. And what I need to do is just down here where you can see, what I need to do down here is I need to put some sort of path here because it gets really slippy when you're coming in. And when it's raining, it's so slippy, and I don't want my mum to fall or anything like that. So I've got a slab here for temporary, but I need to put these slabs down here and get this part paved up, ready for people coming in easy. So what I'm thinking as well down this side is getting a planter in, using these concrete pillars just to build a retaining wall, and just using the retaining wall and just plant my tomatoes up here, and I think they'll be great. Maybe have a climbing rose or a clematis that goes across the back, and that'll be beautiful. Okay, so show us what you guys are doing.
There's a holly. We don't want any hollies. Just got some wood chips, and we just took a handful of the, in the chicken house there's some papers in that thing. I just took a handful of that and put it in. And
so is that where you're making your compost?
Yeah, and then we also got some, down there where you put the chickens, I took 4 handfuls from that and put it in here.
Ah, okay, good. So where these guys are working now, I'm going to use all these old doors and I'm going to make a chicken pen, and I'll put a plastic roof over the top and the chickens can be nice and snug in here. And what I'm going to do out here is I'll fence this off here, and I'll put a door in and I'll make sure the wheelbarrow can fit through the door so I can get all the chips and stuff out. And I've got a nice big space back here actually. So what is it? It's about 5 meters by about 2.5 meters long. So it's a nice decent sized space. And what I'll do here is this is all going to be the chicken run, and that way the chickens are out the way and they're put to one side, and we can use that space once we've taken that greenhouse down and we've taken the old chicken pen down, and we can turn it into a really good garden. I mean, what I was playing was with the idea of getting some goats, and I could have had a couple of goats back here, but it's still not out of my mind. I mean, I could still put the chickens with the goats and they'll be fine. So that leaves us with this little area here. At the moment it's just a pile of wood chips, but maybe I'll trim that hedge down and we'll turn this into a little garden just here. So once we get those roots out, there's about 3 feet of growing space by about 3-4 meters. So it's a good bit of extra growing space that we can grow some nice flowers and make the garden look a little bit prettier. And that's what this year is going to be about, trying to make this garden look a bit better and make it look a bit nicer. So let's see what happens. I'm going to leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.